Hey guys, Hector Castillo, girlschase.com. Today is a very special video. It marks the 10-year anniversary of when I really started to try and understand women. And I'll go over my story of how I went from loser to king of college and Prince Poppy of the world and fucking girls and doing this YouTube channel and writing for Girl Chase and being a dating coach and all of that. But the specific focus of this video is on approach anxiety, because basically I would never have gotten anywhere near where I am today if I had been crippled by approach anxiety. And I actually had it very, very bad at first when I was a teenager, but then I overcame it, and it was the secret to all of my success. It was the secret to my success because you can't make a sale if you don't knock on the door, if you don't call them. You can't get a girl if you don't go and talk to her, if you don't ask her out, if you don't invite her home, if you don't try and stick your fucking fingers in her pussy. You have to make a move on a girl for things to happen. And so I want to share with you my story so that maybe you can find some sort of similarity with me, and I can get through that thick fucking skull of yours that you need to go and approach women, because I've been coaching for a while now, and the number one problem that I have with clients who don't get success is that they don't approach girls. The only other type of guy who doesn't have success is they are approaching girls, but they don't listen to my advice at all. I tell them, do this, do that. They're like, okay, great. And they go and talk to girls, and they come back and tell me what happened. I'm like, dude, I told you not to do that anymore. Do this instead. Say this instead. Don't, make eye contact like that. Don't talk about this. This is how you ask her out. Why are you texting her like a fucking idiot? Listen to what I'm telling you how to text girls. Like, oh, okay. And then they finally listen to my advice, and they get results. So guys who don't approach are guys who do approach, but they don't have any method that actually works. But the biggest problem is the fact that they aren't willing to go and approach girls. And I get it. I fucking get it. It can be terrifying. It can be paralyzing your imagination. But I'm going to promise you, things are not nearly as bad as you think they're going to be. Can it go wrong? Sure. But usually the only worst reactions I get from approaches is when it was at night and there was a boyfriend around. That was really the only bad situations I've been in. When it came to approaching girls during the day, the worst thing you're gonna get is usually just girls ignoring you, like they didn't just hear you, even though you're standing right next to them and saying hello, and they're just gonna give you a weird look and keep walking. That's usually the worst thing that's gonna happen. And so whatever fears you have, they're basically just, I'm afraid that she's going to directly or indirectly, by ignoring me, reject me, and that's going to make me feel bad. But the problem with that is that if you're not willing to do the approach, then you're not willing to get any of the success. If you don't step in the ring, you're not going to get any of the results. And it's very simple. I mean, I could get philosophical with you, but you're just going to be alone and you're going to be jerking off. Or what you're going to do is you're going to eventually stumble upon a girl that you're introduced to, which is what most people do. And then you go on dates and blah, 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 and then eventually you end up together and you get married. But you're never the most dominant guy in her life. You're not that guy who made her fall in love, really. The guy who knows how to fuck her, because you don't have any experience. You don't have any sexuality to you. You don't have any edge. There's nothing that makes you like that man that makes you just like fucking squirt and just get wet as fuck for. And for you to become that man, you have to sharpen yourself. Iron sharpens iron. And the way that you sharpen yourself is by hitting hard points in life and being molded by it and tempered by it. And a lot of that is going to be pain. Pain makes men strong. There's a great quote from the book, The Way of the Superior Man. And I think it says, unadorned suffering is the bedrock of masculine growth. So unadorned suffering, that means suffering that just doesn't have any dramatic quality to it. It doesn't have any nice music playing in the background. There's nothing pretty about it. Just pure fucking pain. You walk up to a girl during the day, you say hello, and she just looks at you like you're the weirdest guy in the world, and you're just like, oh, fuck. Sometimes, occasionally, sometimes. It doesn't happen a lot because I've just been rejected so many times I don't give a fuck anymore. I've done over 15,000 approaches, and I'm not exaggerating. I've been approaching consistently for about 10 years now. And so for me to rack up that number meant I have a lot of pain under my belt, but it's made me strong. when you go to the gym and you lift weights, what you're doing is you're ripping your muscles apart and you're forcing them to rebuild. And that is a painful process, but it's rebuilding you and it's strengthening you and making you a monster, something you weren't before. And so what it is it's a million different deaths. You die 1,000 deaths, but when you're reborn on 1,001 time, you are something else. You're cooler, you're stronger, you're stranger, you're edgier, you're sexier. And so if you want that to happen, you're gonna have to approach. If there's a single magic pill to seduction, besides the love and the curiosity of women as conscious beings, so you want to get to know their soul and their heart, but also you want to ravage their body. Besides that, I would say the single greatest tool is to just go and approach. All the guys that I know who are good with women, they're not afraid to approach because they recognize the benefits of it and they're willing to deal with the pain. If you're not willing to go and approach girls, you're just being a bitch. Like, you're just being a baby back fucking bitch. And you're gonna get exactly what you deserve, loneliness. And I'm not saying this to shit on you, making you feel bad in a you deserve to feel bad because you're a shitty human being kind of way. I'm telling you, you deserve to feel bad because you're weak and you're not doing anything about your life and you're not changing your life. You're not trying to be more than you are. And guess what? That's totally okay too, right? You don't have to go and approach girls. But if you're fucking jerking off to porn and you're complaining about your dating life on Instagram and you see some post about friends or girlfriends and you're like, ho, you know, must be cool to have a girlfriend. I see that all the time. If there's a girlfriend post on Instagram or something about friends, what are the top comments? Must be nice to have a girlfriend. Huh, well, this post would be relevant if I had a girlfriend even. Or even on YouTube videos, you know, lonely gang, you know, sitting home and jerking off to porn all night because I can't find a girl gang. Like, why are you complaining about being alone and then not doing anything about it? If you're okay with being alone and you're truly okay and you're not just saying that to look cool and to look like you don't give a fuck, which is a lot of what the MGTOW guys do, like, I don't need women. I'm like, fuck you, I've met guys like you. And the minute you see a pretty girl, you turn into a puddle of fucking mud. I'm like, you're a fucking coward. You're afraid to face the fact that you want the women, but because you've been rejected or you got girls, but then they broke your heart because they cheated on you because you fucking have shitty game or you picked some horrible woman to date, whatever it was, most of the time it's your fault. Most of the time. And a lot of you don't want to face that. A lot of you don't want to face the fact that you're a piece of shit because you're a piece of shit. You're not a piece of shit because life just hates you. Life is giving you plenty of opportunities. Every time a pretty girl walks past you, that is an opportunity. That girl could be your fucking girlfriend. And here's the amazing part. And this is probably one of the most amazing insights I've had over the 10 years of me getting girls. When I was really new with women, like just so socially retarded, I could barely fucking talk to them. Once I did go and approach, and sometimes even when I didn't approach, there were girls who loved me. And I look back now and I think I knew, but I'm like, the way they looked at me, the way they treated me, they liked me. And I had shit game. Attraction and getting laid are two very different things. And maybe that's gonna help you feel better about yourself. Unless you are just absolutely a detestable looking human being, and most of you are not. Most of you are just average because that's what average fucking means. Statistically, you're an average man. But let's say you're horribly fucking ugly. There's still probably a girl who's attracted to you. Is she amazing? Probably not. Maybe there's just something about you that she's attracted to. Right? But if you're just a normal dude, there is someone who's attracted to you. And she's probably really hot for whatever reason. Spiritually, biologically, socially, there's something about you that turns her on. I don't know. But in my experience, even when I was super new with women, I would either be around gorgeous women or once I really started approaching women, I would have 10s, just fucking bombshells loving me. But I didn't have the game to take that attraction and turn it into sex. So it's two very different things, getting attraction and getting sex. Very, very, very different. And so basically what this 10-year journey has been about is recognizing that women are attracted to me, making myself more attractive via my fundamentals and how I present myself, but also how I act and my behaviors, and then learning how to take that attraction that was already there or that I amplified through self-improvement and then turning that into sex. And so I don't want to become one of those guys who's like, oh, you just become attractive and you're going to get laid. That's not true. You can have a lot of girls attracted to you. I have plenty of clients who are really good looking or really hot, but they can't get laid is because they don't know how to turn that attraction into and convert it into sex. But that 10-year journey was just accepting that girls like me, making myself more attractive, and learning how to take those girls who are attracted to me now and then turning them into lovers, fuck buddies, and girlfriends. That's what this 10-year journey has been about. But I can promise you, there are girls out there who like you. If you were to pause this video right now and get your fucking lazy ass out there on the street and go approach a girl during the day, and if you need help approaching girls during the day, I have a fantastic video that is right here that'll help you with that. Now, if you are not willing to do that, then you're just gonna have to suck it up and suck up the fact that you're just watching these YouTube videos for no fucking reason, and you're binge watching them and you're like, oh, I feel good, I feel motivated, and you're not taking any action. Fuck you. I don't want you as a student. I don't want you as a viewer, because you're not doing anything. I would rather have 100 fucking dedicated viewers than 1,000 people who are just wasting their fucking time watching this video. I'm here to help you. I'm here to entertain you, but I'm here to help you mostly. And if you're not gonna listen to my advice, just fucking leave the video right now. But if you're willing to listen to someone who has fucking tortured themselves for 10 fucking years, and it's the most amazing fucking journey I could ever fucking experience. The only thing that's been more fascinating than this journey with women has been my spiritual and philosophical journey towards what I believe is enlightenment. And that has been amazing in its own right. But man, has this journey with women been fucking amazing. I love women. They just fascinate me. I've been in love with them since I was little. And they did like me, but because of some traumas that I had, I tended to avoid the women who liked me and went after the women who didn't like me. Abandonment issues and just lots of other shit that I could get into, but it doesn't matter, right? I just had issues. And so I grew up just really, really shy around women. At first I wasn't. When I was younger, I was really, really outgoing. But I think what happened was I didn't have the male aggression and the sex drive because I was a kid to ever turn that into something. I mean, I was like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old making out with girls, like that was fine. But then, once I started to get older and then I did start to develop a sex drive, what happened was I was a really late bloomer. And so the kids starting to become men, the boys became men, and I was lagging behind. And then I didn't have that male aggression via my lack of a strong father figure, but also a lack of testosterone. And I didn't have the body to attract these women. And so what happened was these other guys started taking the girls that I was in love with, and it really hurt. And then it just like created a downward spiral of negative feedback loops. And so I didn't have the aggression or the hormones and chemistry to do what I wanted to do. And then I encountered rejection, and I saw other people getting success, and then I started to hate myself more and more and more and more and more and more. And then by the time I was in middle school and then in high school, I just became a social reject. I had some natural charisma to me, but I hid it because I was just deathly afraid of talking to women. And sometimes they would even look at me and occasionally like try to approach me in an indirect way, because again, someone's attracted to you. So don't just be like, oh, you got approached, I didn't. I'm sure there's women who are interested in you, because sometimes I'll go out with clients or go out with people and I'll be like, dude, that girl's looking at you. He's like, no, she's not. I'm like, dude, I just fucking saw it. There is someone who's attracted to you. But again, if you want to stick your head in the sand and complain that no one likes you, go fuck yourself. I don't want you to watch this video. I know I'm being harsh, but if there's one lesson I can tell you from these 10 fucking years is be harsh on yourself a little bit. Don't be self-abusive and don't hurt yourself. And I've dealt with stuff like that, so I understand if you do. But you need to be critical of yourself, because that's the masculine journey, is to throw yourself into the fire and come out something else. And so when I was in this period of intense depression, what happened was I had one instance where there was this girl who had a huge crush on me for years. We finally met each other again in the summer randomly. And then I ended up kissing her, but then I fucked it up completely and I lost her. But I was 17, right? This summer. So it'll be 10 years. But it's going to be my birthday. Oh, I forgot. I'm doing this. My birthday is going to be this Sunday when I'm recording it. And I'm going to turn 27. And when I really started my journey was when I was 17. So 10 years. I'm 27 now. And I can't wait to tell you about this. Okay, so I was part of this youth group, and I wasn't very religious, but I just went to the youth group as a social thing. And there was this beautiful blonde princess, basically. She was from the rich part of town, beautiful, great tits. I'm actually an ass guy, and she didn't have a great ass, but she was the exception. Just great fucking tits, blonde, beautiful, nice lips, super rich, super popular, like everything. And it was kind of a fantasy, right? She was the blonde white girl in the I don't want to give the area. And because you never know who knows this, and I don't want to reveal anything about someone's personal information. But the Bible Belt, I'll tell you that. I was in the Bible Belt. And then I'm, you know, the half Latino, half white kid who just never figured out how to fit in, and because of his life experiences, just, you know, I was just sitting in my room playing World of Warcraft all day, watching porn, reading philosophy, and just being a huge fucking nerd, a pretentious ass nerd. Curious and loving life, but definitely had some issues. Well, over the years I was in this youth group, started about 15 or 16. I noticed that she would sometimes look at me and liked me, but I couldn't even hold eye contact with her. I was such a nervous fuck. Like, she would be like, she even was with her boyfriend one time at the youth group, and I was like, this, and then, you know, she would like joke something to me and like look at me and flirt with me, and even the guy was like being nice, and he's like, hey Hector, blah blah blah, and he was this tall, good-looking guy who was like the popular guy of his school, and I was just like, yeah, okay, like just totally just a fucking idiot. And one time, oh my god, we were at this hangout at someone's house, and we're in a group together in a circle, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just silent, you know. And she's sitting, I'm sitting down in a circle, and she's right here, and she's just kind of like playing with the rug, like, or the carpet, just, you know, just kind of doodling, just, you know, whatever. And she's like, hey Hector, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, do you want to be my boyfriend? And I was like, I didn't say anything. I didn't fucking say shit. I just froze up. You want to know? I think what was going through my head is, this must be a joke. I think she's playing a joke on me, because I had such low self-esteem that I couldn't accept the fact that a girl liked me, especially a girl who I found so. I still think she's very beautiful. I've been with girls who are way hotter than her now, but I still, probably just because of the nostalgia, I think she's still just very, very beautiful. And yeah, I couldn't accept the fact that she liked me. And later on that day, I started flirting with her, and then she's like, why are you flirting? Like, basically had this attitude. Now I know, because I can look back. Like, okay, I offered you to be my boyfriend, and then I don't know what was going on with her and her. They must have broken up or something. They had a break. And I tried to make a move on her, and then she was like, what the fuck? And now I realize it's like, because I rejected her, and then I wanted her, and so she thinks I'm playing games, right? Because she likes me, so she thinks I'm a high value guy. But in my mind, I'm this fucking loser, and so I think she just hates me. And so I'm like, what happened? I thought you wanted to be my boyfriend, and then I'm trying to flirt with you. Just, if you know any game, you know exactly what's happening. It was an attainability issue all the way through. Then when I was 17, we went on a mission trip, and we had like t-shirts to wear, and she like grabbed the t-shirt for me and was like, hey Hector, I think she even posted on my Facebook wall. She's like, hey dumbass, like, I got your t-shirt because you were too lazy to go get it. I got it for you, you know, I'll come. Like, just, she was a very aggressive girl, you know. She liked me, and she knew what she wanted. And we were messaging back and forth, and then we all got in our vans to go driving. This story could take 4 hours if I told it in its entirety. But basically, she got my phone number somehow from someone else and just started texting me. She's like, hey, it's blank. God, just saying her name is interesting. I haven't talked to her in a while. So she was texting me the way down, and basically just started to confess her love for me. And I confessed my huge crush on her as well. But she had a boyfriend, and this created an issue for me because I was very moral at the time, extremely moral. And now I'm actually back to that. You know, I went through a period because of this, I think, where I liked to fuck girls with boyfriends just to like get revenge for my failure with her. But now I actively avoid girls with boyfriends because I think it's wrong. So yeah, this is coming from Hector, the guy who used to enjoy fucking girls with boyfriends and would brag about it. Yeah. But anyways, I ended up fucking it up and not making my move. She even admitted she had sex dreams about me. And then we hung out twice in my room, and I didn't fucking kiss her. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing I didn't do it, because probably if I had kissed her or had sex with her, I would have ended up with her and then not become the man that I am today. So I thank God, I thank life, I thank the universe every day for giving me that pain, because it made me who I am now. And what happened was things ended up not working out, basically, long story short. And I got very depressed because I knew I fucked it up. Like I was aware that there was a level of strategy that I just wasn't able to comprehend and didn't pull it off. And I had so many chances. It's just like in your face, and then you lose it and you're like, wow, it was in my face and I lost it. So I spiraled into a very deep depression. My grades started to suffer. And I basically burped my life for 6 months. I was just a husk of a human being. Then there was a combination of Friedrich Nietzsche's writings and reading the manga Berserk, if you guys are manga anime fans. And the third element to my awakening was a book called I Hope They Serve Bigger in Hell by Tucker Max. That was the final kicker. If you don't know what that book is, I suggest you go buy it right now. It's a legendary book and has inspired me greatly. So Nietzsche, Tucker Max, and a random manga character. Interesting combination. But one day I was in my bed and I was crying, and I realized you are the reason for your suffering. It was a monumental realization, and it was an interesting starting point to my studies in Buddhism and philosophy too, to realize that you are the cause of your own suffering, that your ignorance is the cause of your own suffering, your stupidity, your laziness. So I kind of woke up and I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna start being social. So I started attending football games. I remember I went to the first football game and I'm standing there and someone's like, Hector, why are you here? I'm like, oh, she's like, you're like not social. And because I was a nice person, I was a nice kid. People didn't hate me. I mean, I was kind of a pretentious asshole who thought he was smarter than everyone, but I was nice, and deep down I'm a huge softie. I really just love people, but I lost it. And I think all of you have lost it somewhere along the way, that you have love in your heart and you want to go meet people and you want to spend time with women. And you want to love, but you've been hurt, and so you put a shield up and you put a wall up. And I get it. I totally get it. It's my story too. But I had the balls to fucking change it. Okay? And so that's what I'm really trying to tell you with the story. The story is narcissistic in that I'm talking about myself, but it's meant to act as a marker on a trail and on a path to show you, look, someone's been here, but they made it past here. And if I can do it, you can fucking do it. So I started going to football games. I started to socialize. I got invited to my first party. I had my first sip of alcohol. And it was downhill/uphill, however you want to see it from there. And I attended this talent show for the science club. I remember I was in the science club, and like, hey, there's this competition thing where every club has to like give a person to perform. Who wants to do it? And obviously it's a science club, so a bunch of fucking nerds. No one raises their hand. I swear to God, it's probably the most beautiful voice in my head to ever whisper. Someone is guiding me along. It was just this beautiful whisper, and it's just like, do it. And I was like, yeah! It was so hard for me to raise my hand and to have just the sheer stupidity and courage to raise my hand and say, I'll do it. And I remember it was the physics professor, my physics professor, who liked me. He had a lot in common with me. And he kind of just gave me this look like, yeah, like you did it. Kind of like on behalf of all nerds, you're going to do something cool. And I ended up fucking killing it. There was a funny dressing section where I dressed up like a transformer, and then I performed Billie Jean's by Michael Jackson, and I had the fucking sparkling glove and everything. It was amazing. Everyone lost their shit. I wish I could find the video of it. There was a video somewhere of it, but I killed it. And then there was a Q&A period where I answered a question in a nice fucking suit, and I ended up getting second place. But I went from fucking social reject to being in front of 600 people and dancing and grabbing my crotch in front of them. And it changed everything. And I started to blossom, and I ended up having my first girlfriend. She was the girl who escorted me out during this event. She's a great chick, big tits, nice lips, suck real good dick. And yeah, so I didn't lose my virginity to her, but it was my first girlfriend. And then we broke up, and then that summer was when the real fun began. So that summer, I broke up with my girlfriend after prom. It was such a funny relationship. We'd walk past each other in the hallway and wouldn't even say hi to each other. Just weird. And I could have had sex with her like tons of times. I guess I was content with getting my dick sucked and coming on her face. I mean, it was fun. But yeah, I should have just fucked her. Anyways, that summer, I ended up randomly messaging this girl who I had a crush with on Facebook. It's a funny story if I told it, but I don't want to get too mired in it. And then ended up meeting up with her and having her as a girlfriend. And then she was my girlfriend all through freshman year of college. But when I went to college, I realized I shouldn't have had a girlfriend. Man, oh my God, I was just so social. That was my secret. I was just social. You know, I didn't have a great game, but I was willing to put myself in social situations. And when you just fucking throw yourself into social situations, you will be amazed by what happens, because girls are going to feel you putting yourself out there. Maybe your game's not the best, but you don't have to be perfect to get girls. I mean, I highly suggest you become as refined and as skillful as you can with your game. But as long as you're putting yourself out there, I have seen some whack ass dudes get laid simply for the fact that they continue to go to parties and continue to socialize, and eventually they just fucking stumble into pussy because they're that fucking stubborn that eventually a girl just clicks with him and she ends up doing the moves, or he ends up somehow making it happen with his retarded ass style. Just put yourself out there and you're gonna get success. It's not always gonna be fun. It's gonna be really rocky. You're not gonna know what's going on for probably the first couple of years. I'm not gonna sell you snake oil. I'm selling you a process that works. And if you're willing to go through that process, you'll have success. And you can go as far as you want. You can become a seduction god, or you can just be a guy who can occasionally get laid, but it's probably better than what you're gonna do after this video. If you watch it at night, you're gonna go watch porn and just jerk off. Jerking off's fun. Porn's cool, but it's much better to put your dick in a pussy. Promise you. Okay, so what happened was I just threw myself into social situations. I eventually broke up with that girlfriend. I'm happy I lost my virginity to her. It was a great relationship. We're not on the best terms right now. I haven't talked to her in 5 years, but I'm grateful for the relationship we had. And then it took off. And in college, I just turned into a fucking beast. And I actually have a book that goes through my entire story in college and tells you tons of stories of me meeting girls and fucking girls, and it can show you the journey from beginning to fucking king. That's why I'm wearing this fucking crown. I like to think of myself more as a prince now because it's less responsibility than a king. I did the whole king thing in college. That's why the book is called King of College. And it's too much responsibility. I'd rather just be a prince. You know, you're pretty much the same status, and you got bitches everywhere, but you have more freedom. So I prefer to be a prince these days. But I can teach you how to go as far as you want. And it's not, the book isn't just good for college. It's good for if you are in any environment where you're trying to meet friends and create circles of friends, and then you're meeting girls through those circles and using it to gain status and to gain clout. Don't be a clout chaser, obviously, but you still want to gain clout. And how to mold and craft the particular reputation that you want, and to use that reputation to get the type of girl that you want and to get friends that you want to enjoy life with, and how to deal with anything, how to deal with gossip, how to make sure rumors are shaped in the way that you want them to be. You can even feed your own rumors into the environment and play tricks on people with your rumors to see if they're snakes or if they're real friends. I've got some tricks up my fucking sleeve. I've seen it all, and the book goes through everything. It focuses on college, but it gives you the tools whether you're in college or not. So in college, out of college, it's still going to teach you the fundamental principles of human interaction and how reputation and status and friendship and sex works within circles of human beings, and what happens when we socialize in groups. And it's a clusterfuck, but I guide you through it with immense detail and immense clarity. So I really appreciate it. If you check that out, I'll put it right here. It's also in the description below, King of College. I put my fucking heart and soul into it. It's 214,310 something words like that. Like fucking monstrous. It was 800 pages before I did the typesetting and formatted it. It's fucking monstrous, but I had to do that because I wanted to give you as much value as I can in my complete story. There's pretty much nothing that I left out. So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you pick it up. It's my blood, sweat, and tears, and it's college was the reason I am the person I am today. But if you're in college, or you're not in college, you're a high school student or even younger, or you're out of college for 20 years and you're 40 years old, it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever point in the journey you're at, you have to make that jump. And you have to go out and venture forth into the land of women and the land of socializing, right? Because you're going to meet friends and you're going to meet lifelong friends, but you're also going to meet women who will be your lovers for one night, or your girlfriend, or your wife, or the mother of your fucking children. But my secret was just that I was either so fucking stupid. I think it was a combination of just, I have nothing to lose and I'm just stupidly brave when it comes to doing something that I know 10 years down the road will work, but right now it's probably going to look idiotic, but I'm just willing to do it because fuck it, life is short, I could die tomorrow. And it was also my love of women. And I've just been radically, immensely in love with women ever since I was little, probably because combination of just the fact that they're beautiful creatures. And it was before I gained a sex drive, so I knew I loved them beyond just sex. And also because I was raised by my mother, a single mother, and she showed me an immeasurable amount of love and taught me the capacity for love and beauty that women can show. And I thank her every day. And so for whatever reason, I'm in love with women, and I'm just such a dumbass that I'm willing to just do retarded things to impress them. And just approach 15,000 of them and pour my heart and my soul out because I want to spend time with them, and being around them just makes me, like, I just think about being around girls right now and I'm just like filled with warmth. And also my dick gets hard because I'm a man and I want to fuck their pussy and their mouth and their ass and just leave them in a pool of cum and drool, right? So I love women, but I'm also a horny fucking bastard. So find whatever motivation it is that will get you to approach women. Mine was just pure love of women and horniness, to be honest. But if you're really, really, really struggling with approach anxiety and that grand epic story that could be told in 10, 15 hours, if you really wanted real detail, if that didn't inspire you enough, I have a few tricks that you can follow. So one trick you can do, and it's a couple different ways to do it, is you just trick yourself. So it's literally a trick. You trick yourself into approaching a girl. So one you can do is that you can cut out the idea that that's a girl and you're a person, and just see yourself as an object in space, right? This is a golem of flesh and blood and bone, and it's just an object in space, and this object in space needs to move towards that object in space, which happens to be the girl. So you're just like, okay, one foot in front of the other, just be fucking animated about it, like walk, 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 and then put yourself in front of her or next to her, and then by the time you're standing in front of her, that social pressure to say hello to her, because it would be more awkward if you didn't say anything to her at that point because you're standing in front of her. That's just going to force you to say hello. It's really stupid, but it fucking works. And I've had clients be like, oh, that actually worked. So if you see a girl and you're nervous, just walk, walk, walk. Okay, I'm walking towards her. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm in front of her. Hi. You're pretty. Nice to meet you. It might work. What you can also do is you can pretend she dropped something. I know, this is ridiculous. Let's say she's walking and you see her. Start to jog up to her, and then in your mind, tell yourself, oh, she dropped something. I'm coming to bring it back to her. Just to keep yourself in an innocent, friendly mood. And what I've also noticed is kind of weird, and this might reveal something about reality, but sometimes when you're walking up to girls during the day, someone's going to pay attention because you're like, okay, there's a guy jogging and he's heading in the direction of someone. What's going on? But when I fill my thoughts with, oh, I'm just going to help her, she dropped something, even though it's not true. You're just lying to yourself to get your legs moving. What I'll notice is people are looking at me, and then as soon as I'm like, oh no, she just dropped something, they look away. Don't know how that works. My thesis is that in classical Buddhism, the thought is actually a sense. So that means there's some sort of interaction going on between thoughts. And this is the belief that they had. It was decently mainstream in ancient India in the Buddhist time. But I don't want to get too mired in philosophy here. But there's something interesting going on there. Anyways, that's one way to get your ass moving and your legs moving towards that pretty fine honey over there with the fucking... Ugh, I'm just thinking about girls with asses. And I told you I'm a horny bastard. So... one other method you could do that's also tricking yourself is you could pretend you know her. So if, let's say you saw a girl that you know walking on the street, you would walk up to her with zero fear, right? Because you know her. Well, maybe not zero fear. Maybe some of you are still nervous even if you know her. But if you knew her, you're going to feel much more comfortable to approach her. So you're like, oh, that's Alyssa. I know her, right? Okay, walking up to her. So just pretend you know her. And again, the same thing's going to happen. If you walk up to someone with this like vibe that you know them, it's also going to make the approach better. Because you're going to walk up and be like, hey, what's up? How are you? And you're going to be like, I saw you over there. You're really pretty. But you're going to have this attitude if you know her. And sometimes I've even had it go so well. She's like, oh, hey, how are you? Sorry, my contact started to fucking spaz out. I was trying to like on video. So I would walk up to her and I would say, give her that vibe, and she'd be like, do we know each other? Like not in an accusatory way, but like sorry, where do I know you from? And I'm like, oh no, I don't know you. I just thought you were pretty. And she's like, oh, okay. And sometimes the reason she's talking to me is because she thought she knew me, and then she walks off. She's like, oh, okay, sorry, well, I have to get going. But other times she's like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, nice to meet you. You're really friendly. You're really nice, blah, blah, blah. So it's not only going to help your approach, but it's going to help you just get the confidence to walk up to her. And you trick your mind into thinking you know her, and whatever you need to do to get up there. So that might help you bypass your firewall in your mind that's keeping you from approaching girls. What you can also do, and this is the one that I really mostly do, is I just visualize myself fucking her. I look at her like her amazing ass just walking. I'm like, how nice would that ass look just bent over on my bed, and her just looking back at it and back at me with that lust of, please just ram your fucking big dick in my pussy as hard as you fucking can. If that doesn't get you fucking approaching women, I don't know what will. Just imagine her naked. Imagine you fucking her. Get that lust in your head, and that's also gonna make your approach really hot. So, like the one with pretending she's your friend. Now this one is like, I'm approaching you with this sexual energy. Can you be too much, and can you come off creepy? Of course. Everyone eventually is going to be creepy at some point. You're just gonna not be calibrated. But what it can do is make you, excuse me, I saw you back there, and you look amazing, and I wanted to come say hello. I'm Hector, and it gives you that that sexy drip in your voice, that pleasant little venom in your voice, where she knows you're a mischievous little fuck and you want to fuck her mouth, and she loves it because girls love dick. I don't know if you're watching this video and you think girls don't like sex, I can promise you they love dick. They love dick. Why do you think they're crying all the time? You watch porn, I know you do, fuck boy. They fucking love dick. Maybe they don't like your dick because you're a little pussy bitch right now, but you can get to the point where they do like your dick, because girls love dick and they want it, they crave it. So walk up to her with that sexual energy. Also, you can be a little bit more romantic with it if you don't want to be a fuckboy like I am. I'm a lover, not a fuckboy. But I do come off like a fuckboy sometimes, and I'm sure I'm going to get accused of being a fuckboy by someone watching this video. And fuck you to that person. So, if you are a little bit more romantic-minded, I'm very romantic too. What you can do is you can imagine having a relationship with her. I still think you should imagine the sex, but imagine talking to her. Imagine in your head it going well. You guys going on a date, kissing, making love, spending the whole date night together, the whole next day together. Her becoming your girlfriend, her becoming your wife, you having kids with her, whatever. Just fucking fill yourself with motivation. And maybe you walk up to her and she just doesn't even fucking acknowledge you and ignores you. But at least you walked up with that oomph. And that romantic or sexual visualization can help. Now, there's also another thing that I think you should definitely follow. Stop watching porn, okay? If you want to occasionally jerk it, go ahead, right? But I would highly advise, because most of you are probably addicted to porn, and I've seen it with myself and lots of guys. It's a very common thing to be addicted to porn. Cut it out. Because you're wasting your sexual energy on a girl you're not even fucking. When you could, it's gonna be a little bit more torture because you're gonna be really horny. You're gonna be like, fuck, I really wanna jerk off. Or if you're gonna jerk off, just jerk off to your thoughts. If you don't have any spank bank thoughts, like any girls that you fucked, then you need to really go out. And I would suggest also stop jerking off. So stop porn for sure. And then definitely try to start or stop jerking off in general. Because what that's going to do is, yes, it's going to be a little bit of a torture. I promise you that. There's going to be pressure in your groin, and you're just going to be like, and you might not even be able to focus. But what that's going to do is it's going to motivate you to go out and approach girls. And then you can even reward yourself. Like, okay, I did some approaches. Now I get to jerk off. Whatever you have to do. But I would definitely suggest not watching porn and not jerking off, because it's going to make your sexual energy recalibrate and rebalance. And you're going to come back to your full masculine form, where instead of doing this, you're going to be doing this in a girl's pussy. Okay? So, 2 more little tips. One, you can do warm-up approaches. So what a warm-up approach is, I'm gonna go approach this girl, but I'm not gonna have any expectations. I'm just gonna run up to her as a warm-up. So it takes off the pressure of you saying, this is an approach, I gotta run my game and get her number and blah, blah, blah. There's no pressure. It's just like, this is just a warm-up. It doesn't matter how it goes. And sometimes, because you're so casual about it, you're gonna be carefree and cool and smooth, and that approach is gonna end up being one of your best. Sometimes my first one is the best one I can do. And once you get the first approach out of the way, usually the rest are really easy, because then you're reminded, oh, I didn't get killed for just approaching a random girl, or I didn't die because I got rejected. When I approach the first girl, and if you're a friend of mine, you're out with me, if I approach one girl, I'm about to approach 10. If I do one approach, game over. Fucking gates are open, horses are running, fucking Poppy's on his charge. Just because the first one is just like, I don't even have approach anxiety like at all anymore, because once you do 15,000 approaches, you don't give a fuck. But once the first one's done, game over. I'm approaching 20 girls in one day if I want. There's no limit. And the same might be the same for you. You might just need to get that momentum started. That inertia just has to be broken through, and once the momentum is going, that wheel just starts turning and you're fucking bitches. So a warm-up approach might be a good way to get that ball rolling. Last and final tip, call yourself a bitch. If you're not approaching some girl, just be like, I'm being a bitch right now. Stop being a fucking bitch. Guys, we're just like that, right? Like I said, we are tempered by pain and by pressure. So don't be like, oh, don't talk bad about yourself. Go fuck yourself. I'll tell you you're a bitch, right? Be a fucking man. Grab your balls. I'm being a bitch. I'm being a bitch. I'm being a bitch. You expect to go out and get girls, and you're afraid of calling yourself a bitch? Fuck, bro. You're way too soft, man. No wonder you're not getting any pussy. Fuck, dude. You little bitch. So call yourself a bitch. Don't be self-abusive, and don't be like, I'm a bitch. Like, chill. But you can kind of tease yourself a little bit. Come on, man. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch, right? And if that doesn't work, just imagine me right here. This right here. Fucking print this in your mind. I'm going to be flashing my hands. Little magic hands, and my shit-eating grin right here, like, you're being a bitch, you're being a bitch, you're being a bitch, and just flash it in your head as much as you need to get you to go and approach. So those are the methods that I would advise you use if you're having trouble approaching women. But I hope that the main inspiration here has been my story. Poured my heart out for you. I hope you've enjoyed that story. There's many more tales to tell, but I am the man that I am today because of those experiences that I shared with you, and my college experience, which again I go over in my King of College book, which I would really appreciate if you pick up. It's in the description below. And then afterwards, when I really started to go into the real world and really stretch my social muscles and became who I am today, Poppy, Hector Castillo from girlschase.com. And it's an amazing life that I live. Not all of you have to make it to the point that I have, because it takes 10 years of intense fucking dedication where you think about nothing but women. I've thought about nothing but women and philosophy for the past 10 years. Nothing else. Everything else has just been a side hobby that I needed to do and kind of enjoyed on the side. But women and socializing, it's been my life. And it paid off. When you're willing to put in work, it's gonna pay off. And you get what you pay for. You get what you work for. So if you want to get to my level, it's gonna take time, blood, sweat, and tears. If you want to just have a little bit better of a dating life, that's totally cool. Be as advanced and as skillful and as abundant as you want, but you have to put in the work. And if you're not approaching women, none of that is going to happen. And that is the main thesis of this video. You have to go and approach girls. Don't be dependent on Tinder. Don't be dependent on social media. The absolute best way to get more girls and the highest quality girls is going out during the day and approaching women, and at night too in clubs and bars. But honestly, day game is the fucking king of all game, because that is the way that you're going to meet super high quality girls that you're going to love having in your life, and they're going to love having you in their life as well. So get off your ass, finish this video, like, subscribe, ring the bell, pick up all the shit that I told you to pick up, support this channel, support our website, but then get your fucking ass out there and go and approach women. Okay, Hector Steele, Poppy, girlchase.com. I love you. Have a good time. Bye, and happy birthday to me.